to the New Zonderlings podcast, where we explore the weird and bizarre. Here are your hosts, Noah and Jeanette.
Thank you for joining us today for the New Zonderlings podcast. Every week we bring you a weird, strange, unique, or humorous story from around the world. I'm Noah, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jeanette.
Hi, everyone. Today isn't really a news story in the classic sense that we normally do it. I came across an article when I was doing research for something else, and it intrigued me, and I will get to that article later and read it to you.
What is this?
I'm going to tell you what this is.
Sorry, I'm lost. You haven't told me anything about this one.
No, I haven't. Okay, so it's called the 13 Club.
Okay, you mentioned this, not to look this up in any way, shape, or form, which I have not, so.
I found a news article from Iowa in 1936.
That's quite a while ago.
And the headline of it was, "Former 13 Club ruler is happy." That's the headline.
Is this like Pen 15?
What's Pen 15?
You don't know what Pen 15 is?
No.
Let's see here. Those of you who do know what the Pen 15 club is, congratulations.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway.
Moving on. Pen 15 club.
So I read this article and I was really intrigued, and I kind of did a deep dive into the history of it because I instantly became fascinated. I'm going to tell you why.
I'm listening.
Okay. So the 13 Club. There was a lot of debate on when this exactly started because I found two different dates and neither one of them made sense.
Interesting.
Okay, so one article said that the first meeting took place on Friday the 13th, 1881.
Curious date.
And the second one said Friday the 13th, 1882. So 2 different years. I looked these dates up. Neither one of them were a Friday. Okay, so September 13th in 1881 was a Tuesday.
Wow.
Which could be important, and we'll get to that later.
I'm so very confused right now. You're spilling a lot of information.
Oh, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot. And then in 1882, September 13th was, what was it? I wrote it down. No, that one was...
That was a Tuesday?
No, it was 1881. That was a Tuesday. I wrote down Friday the 13th, 1882, because another article said that. I said, well, it must have been it. I went back and did the research on what those days were, and there wasn't a Friday the 13th that occurred in September in 1882. I can tell you the dates it did occur.
Okay.
October 13th of 1882, which is the next month. So I'm kind of thinking that there was just bad reporting.
That makes sense, I suppose.
So I'm going to go with the October 13th, 1882 date.
Is that a Friday?
It is a Friday.
That one's a Friday.
That's a Friday the 13th. Okay. So on Friday the 13th of October, 1882, 13 men set for a formal dinner in room 13 of Manhattan's Knickerbocker Cottage. I love the name of the cottage, too.
Knickerbocker.
Knickerbocker.
Sounds like a brand of popcorn.
There were 13 candles, lobster salad molded into a coffin shape, garnished with 13 crawfish.
What are you telling me right now?
All under a big banner that said, it's Latin, I'm going to try this, Nos moratori te salutamus.
All right, let me see this. It's my turn to try.
Which is Latin for, we who are about to die salute you.
Was that a rock song? Where is it?
Right there, where my thumb is.
Nos morituri mortitori te salutamus.
That's what I said, man.
Well, now I've said it.
13 toasts were given, and thus began the very first meeting of the 13th Club. Now, if you haven't guessed yet...
Are they a suicide club?
No.
Oh.
No, they're much cooler than that.
Oh, I'd hope so.
They are a club whose sole purpose is to make fun of superstitions.
Oh my gosh.
Which I love.
How ironic for our podcast.
So the founder the host of that first dinner was a man named Captain William Fowler.
He was a captain.
He was a captain.
Wow.
You want to guess a captain of which military branch?
The Navy?
I think it's the Army.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay.
Where was this?
It was in New York.
Oh, okay.
It's at Manhattan.
Some reason I was thinking Europe. But
So, yeah, Fowler created the club as a way to belittle superstitions, which were very abundant in the Victorian era. So,
sounds like something we would do.
yeah, I absolutely love it. I want to revamp this club and do this.
I see. Who do we get in contact for that?
I don't think we have to get in contact with anybody.
Oh,
We
they're all
did
dead.
Well, I'll get to it later, but the club has been disbanded.
Oh.
Okay. So let's see. Fowler went to PS 13, which in New York, PS stands for public school, number 13. I had to look
What's
that one
with
up
all the
too.
13?
Well, this was him. So he started this club, the 13 Club. He considered 13 lucky.
I thought 13 was unlucky.
He graduated PS 13 when he was 13.
Wow.
He built 13 buildings, fought in 13 Civil War conflicts, and belonged to 13 clubs.
I'm starting to believe this isn't real.
It's real. It's really cool. And he only did significant, important things on the 13th of the month. I love this man. So, if you couldn't tell, Captain Fowler loved the number 13 and considered it very lucky for himself.
Which is ironic, given that 13 is supposedly unlucky, but that is superstition. So it fits with his theme of belittling superstition.
Yeah, he did not care for the fact that people considered 13 unlucky.
Took the words out of my mouth.
In his time, we're talking about the 1880s, the fear of the number 13 was associated with the Last Supper. So it had a religious connotation, which whenever there are 13 people assembled, one of them was believed to be a Judas. I don't know how they picked which one.
Yeah,
They
that's a
just
good
did
point. It just happens.
It just happens. I mean, why not? Something else that's important to remember about the Victoria era is that social clubs were very big in this time.
Right.
So you weren't anybody unless you belonged to a social club.
So this was their social club?
Yeah, well, he was part of 13 of them, but I'm guessing I'm guessing the 13th was the 13 Club.
Man, he's just...
I hope. But clubs provided a way to make friends, eat lavish meals, and engage in themed activities. So it was really just their social... They don't have TV.
Yet.
They don't have concerts to go to. This was their Friday nights.
Well, I'm
man.
sure they had concerts.
Well, not the way we have them now.
Well, I know not like a rock band, but I mean, they had
I guess.
orchestras and operas.
So, whenever possible, they would try to have a fancy dinner on the 13th. Yes, it didn't always come on Friday the 13th because, I tried to look at this up. Some years have 3 Friday the 13th, some only have 2, and some only have 1. So I guess it depends on what year you're at.
So did it have to be a Friday the 13th, or was
No,
it? Okay, so
just
any
the 13th.
any 13th.
So once a month they met. Let's just say once a month
Do,
they met.
do you think he petitioned to have a 13th month instated?
I didn't find any evidence of that in my research. But something else that's interesting, when they got together for these meals, they had 13 courses.
That's a lot of food.
Their wine lists were shaped like gravestones.
That I don't get that part. What's with all the...
Well, I think they're laughing at all superstitions. That's just not 13.
Even death?
Even death.
Wow.
Yeah. They laugh in the face of death.
That's quite a bold statement.
Members came in black suits and top hats. They walked under open ladders that were brought indoors for the occasion.
That's hilarious.
Umbrellas were opened. Cakes had black cats on them. Mirrors were smashed.
I was going to say, were mirrors smashed?
Salt was spilled. And they held mock trials for members who acted superstitiously.
That's hilarious.
It was buffoonery.
Buffoonery of the highest accord.
It was buffoonery, but I bet they had a good time. I'm going to say they had a really good time.
Yeah, no
Anyway,
kidding.
I found a sample menu
Oh my gosh.
that they actually had at Club 13. I'll let you read them. They were in French, so I
I was
wrote
gonna
the
say,
English.
what is that word?
I wrote the English equivalent next to them.
Regular dinner and annual meeting. Menu. Oysters.
Well, Blue Point oysters. That's a type of oyster.
Crayfish bisque. Crisps. Those are fries, right?
Yes.
Okay. Grilled new potatoes. Beef fillet. Skewered. Spinach in juice. Raspberry blackcurrant sorbet. Ooh, that sounds good. Turkey with watercress. Is that supposed to be the word lettuce?
Yes.
Because you misspelled lettuce.
Give me a break, okay?
Lettuce salad.
I wrote this really quickly.
Vanilla souffle. Neapolitan ice cream. Cheese. Coffee.
So they considered coffee a course.
That's interesting.
That's weird to me, but
Yeah, that's very weird.
so this is from January 13th of 1899.
What's the restaurant? Benjamin Trier Restaurant Roof Cardin. 143 Liberty Street.
Street.
We'll have to see if it's still there. Take a little field trip.
Field trip to New York, people. So you would think that all this laughing in the face of superstition, that surely someone there befell some kind of unlucky streak, don't you think?
No,
They did not.
of course not. They're too lucky for that. They laugh in the face of unluck.
The club secretary was questioned by a newspaper about whether all these acts resulted in bad luck for members. He said not a single member is dead or has even had a serious illness. On the contrary, members have been exceptionally healthy and fortunate.
Maybe we should start
And this was a
doing
year.
this.
Yeah, a year after the club started.
Wow.
Over time, the club began to grow. One 1886 dinner at Coney Island brought in 400 attendees.
Oh my gosh, that's not 13.
No, it's not.
It's not even
Well,
130.
When the club members start to grow, they had 13 tables with 13 seated at
Oh
each
wow.
table.
Okay.
So that's how they did that. I didn't do the math on that. I don't think that's 400, but
No.
they obviously
400 or 40?
400.
Oh wow. I thought you said 40 at first.
So I think
That's quite a bit more.
as long as they had tables of 13 men, they were fine. And I am saying men, ladies, because women were not allowed.
This was the
Yet.
1880s? Yeah, no. No women.
Chapters opened in Chicago, France, and England. Sub-branches also started popping up in 1891. The flagship 13 Club started inviting women to dinners and gave them all a welcome gift of a tiny glass perfume bottle with a human skull-shaped stopper.
Oh, how sweet. Question mark.
So they started letting women in 1893.
Oh, wow.
And there's a group of women who started their own chapter in Iowa. So this, I mean, the word of this club really spread France to other countries. So that's pretty cool. What I found really, really interesting, I came across this. I'm just going to let you hold it, and I will start to read to you my next section.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
The 13 Club started attracting high-profile honorary members, including Grover Cleveland, Chester A. Arthur, and Theodore Roosevelt.
One of my favorite presidents, Teddy.
So Noah is currently holding Theodore Roosevelt's
It's a certificate of honorary membership.
of membership into the 13 Club, and it is signed by 13 men.
Wow. Is his signature on here?
Whose? I don't think Theodore Roosevelt's would be.
Oh.
It would be whoever the club president is, and then all the members.
Wow. The 230. The 13th Club, Theodore Roosevelt, was duly elected an honorary member at the 230th regular meeting and dinner of the club held in the city of New York in the evening of December 13th, 1903 at... What is that? At 13th...
At the city, New York. That's what that says.
That says 13. That's the block.
At 7:13.
Ah,
It is kind of hard to read.
of the clock. Oh, okay. It is in
It's
a
obviously
very...
just a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, I'm
of
sure.
copy. It's very hard to read, but it says, in the evening of December 13th, 1903, at 7:13 of the clock. I'm going to start saying that.
Yeah, that's something else that they did. Like the very first dinner took place at 8:13.
Interesting.
It's a weird time.
It's a specific time.
That is very specific.
Well, the 13th hour would be 1. I wonder why they didn't do like 1:13.
He was a military man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when they started doing military time. Has that
That's a good point.
Always been a thing?
Could not tell you.
The 13 Club made some real differences. Justice David McAdam, a 13 Club member branch president and a member of the New York City Court, declared Saturday an official half holiday.
Wow.
Well, public offices must close afternoon. You gotta remember, back then the labor laws weren't what we have now.
Much different.
And you worked 6 days a week, and you only got Sunday off. So
Wow.
that was a little bit different. He did this to restore more importance to Friday. So he wanted everybody to really focus on Friday being the last day of work, I guess. Not long after, Saturday became a full holiday. In 1929, the amalgamated... Is that what that says?
That is correct. You
Clothing.
wrote it. What do you mean?
Doesn't mean I know how to pronounce it. Clothing Workers of America successfully demanded a 5-day work week.
Wow.
So that didn't happen until 1929. When you think about that,
And the
it's crazy.
13 Club started it.
I know. That's really
That's
cool.
crazy.
Unfortunately,
Uh-oh.
everyone does eventually die.
Well, no kidding.
And in 1897, so before, the 13 Club started making some real differences, Captain Fowler died.
Oh, man.
He passed away suddenly but peacefully in his sleep after enjoying perfect health. In the next few decades, club life started to decline. And I'm going to say that's due to war and financial disasters.
What? War?
So all those things changed the landscape of society. And the 13 Club dwindled and became non-existent.
Oh, man.
And something else that I think is interesting about this is nobody really considered Friday the 13th to be unlucky until the club, because Friday was considered unlucky.
Why?
I will get to that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And 13 was considered lucky, but until the club, nobody ever smushed together Friday the 13th. So in a way, Club 13 or 13 Club, in their effort to debunk superstitions, they created a giant superstitious superbug with Friday the 13th.
Perpetuated today by the movies.
Yes. Do you like Friday the 13th?
I gotta be honest, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
I know.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I guess it was okay. It's a slasher movie.
Is that with who is that?
Jason.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, I do like the twist. Spoiler alerts for everybody that hasn't seen Friday the 13th.
When did that come out? 1990 something?
No, that was from the 80s.
Oh, even further
Maybe
back.
we should
If you haven't seen
look it up real quick, because there's somebody out there screaming at me, it was 1979.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to say the early 80s, but I could be wrong. 1980.
1980.
Woo! The fear of Friday the 13th is called, hang in there, frigatriscalacophobia.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Frigatriscadecaphobia.
No, that does not say that. It's
Scaldophobia. Frigatriscaldecaphobia.
Okay, we're torturing our listeners right now.
Frigga.
Frigga is the Norse goddess, which is where we get Friday, the word Friday from.
Oh.
And the rest of that monstrosity is the fear of the number 13.
Triskaidekaphobia.
Well, that's an I. So it's
I thought that was an L.
Triskaidekaphobia.
Triskaidophobia.
Sorry, I wrote this with my own handwriting because I did not have time to type it up on the computer.
Terrible writing.
Hey, I have beautiful writing. So now I want to read to you the actual article that I came across that started all of this.
Okay.
And I find it really sad now that I know the whole background behind it. Okay, so the following Friday the 13th story was written for the United Press by the only surviving chief ruler of the New York's 13 Club, the original organization of its kind. His name was Arthur Lehman. Okay. He says, my advice to anyone that wants real luck and happiness and health is to break every possible known superstition.
Wow.
I intend to open an umbrella in the house, light 3 on a match, and walk under the ladders, so every ladder that I can find. Our 13 Club was founded and chartered in 1882. So this is actually the article where I found the 1882 number. All the other ones said 1881.
Interesting.
But since he's a real actual member from then,
I think he might actually know.
I'm going to take his word for it. Started out as an organization devoted only to breaking down superstitions. All the members of the club that I can remember had good luck. He's happy.
I see where it says that, too.
It says that.
It's just like its own paragraph. He's happy.
I joined the club in 1884. I'm the only living former chief ruler of the organization. I'm 73, and I defy you to find anyone happier or healthier than I am.
Wow.
The club operated chiefly as a social organization, but the members nonetheless didn't believe in superstitions. We used to hold our dinners on the 13th, sitting at 13 to a table. If it was Friday the 13th, that was all the good. Every mother sat down under the open umbrella. It says mother. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be member.
Yeah, it does. That's weird.
Each spilled salt. There were 13 candles at each table. Anyone who has had a black cat cross his path on the way to the dinner was considered especially blessed. The ice cream was served in a coffin-shaped container. The skull and crossbones decorated our menus, and we tried to find dishes that had 13 letters in their name. So they really went.
Wow. Above and beyond.
The only unlucky thing that ever happened to us was that the club folded up in 1914. Now, this is the earliest date I have found for the club closing. All the other ones have been much later. But it's been out of existence, but I'm figuring on reviving it. Just think, we'd be 54 years old now if we kept going right through. The late presidents Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson were honorary members of our club, and they were lucky, weren't they?
Yeah, I guess they were.
And me, well, all the good-looking blondes in my office building rush up to me and throw their arms around me. All you men should go out and break a few mirrors right now. I'm going to do it just to be sure my luck holds.
Wow.
So this was March 13th, 1936, that this ran in an Iowa newspaper.
Wow.
So this is the article that started it.
I'm impressed.
So what'd you think, Noah?
I think we should start breaking some mirrors, and look, there's one right there.
No. I would love to belong to a club like this one.
The 13 Club? Are you saying we're going to have to start the 13 Club over again?
I feel like we should, yeah.
I would be up for that. I think we should definitely start the 13 Club.
Well, if you noticed in that article, one of the superstitious things that he did, he said, I lit 3 on a match.
Yeah, what
did you notice that?
That mean?
I did not know what that meant either, so I had to look it up.
Oh, okay.
So that superstition first arose among British troops during the Crimean War.
Interesting.
British soldiers entrenched against Dutch foes in the Boer War. I like that. Boer War. Learned by bitter experience of the danger of lighting 3 cigarettes with one match. Do you know why?
They died?
Well, they were trying to save their matches, so they light as many cigarettes at once as they can, but that gives snipers an opportunity to really...
So they did die.
Well, the third man always died.
I see.
So that's unlucky for him.
I see.
Could you imagine being there and you got a cigarette and the guy lights 1, then he lights 2, and you're like, no.
I'm good.
No.
I just quit, actually.
I'm not smoking anymore. Yeah, that would be not a good
quite
thing.
Unlucky.
Well, of course, I couldn't finish this up without giving you some common superstitions. Do you have any? Can you think of any? Do you do any of them?
Ironically, I don't believe in many superstitions. And in turn, I've been pretty lucky in my life.
You know, I can attest to that. Noah is very lucky. If you need to get something out of a claw machine, or if you need to be picked from a lottery thing, have Noah put your name in it. Or
I've
whatever.
won a few raffles. The first time I played bingo, I won like $500. I only bought like a couple pull tabs or whatever.
And anytime he gets anything that's blind boxed or blind
I get what I
bagged,
want.
he gets exactly what he wants. It's disgusting.
I disgust you.
You're disgusting. Okay, so common superstitions that you might be aware of, and I do a couple of these, and I don't really especially believe in them either, but I do them anyway for some reason. I guess I believe in one in particular, and we'll get to which one that is. So opening umbrellas inside.
You don't do that, or you do?
No,
do that?
that's just I'm starting the superstition list.
Oh, okay, I see.
So in ancient Egypt, umbrellas were needed to protect noble and high-class people from the sun.
Yes, like Cleopatra.
Opening umbrellas inside or in the shade was considered offensive to the sun god.
Oh,
It doesn't tell you what that is, but since I'm a nerd, I know the sun god of
Anubis.
Egypt is Ra.
That's what I said. Ra.
I was like,
Who's Anubis?
god of the underworld.
Oh, I did know that.
Black cats are another one. In medieval times, people associated black cats with the devil and black plague.
Understandable, I suppose.
So they got a bad rap for that, and it wasn't even their fault. Isn't that sad?
Well, I mean, they're cats. They don't really know.
Well, what's really sad is they saw black cats as witchcraft,
Oh yeah, I guess they would have.
and they just belonged to witches, and they would actually murder black cats on sight.
Oh my gosh.
And I said murder. I like cats.
Yeah, I know.
I have 2 black cats, and I
We've
love
been
them.
over this. You are a cat person.
Walking under ladders. This one has a weird origin because it's very religious. So, the Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
It forms a triangle, and when you have a ladder open, it also forms a triangle. And if you walk under it, you're breaking the Holy Trinity.
That's oddly specific.
I thought so too. Breaking mirrors.
That one I don't understand.
In Greek culture, people believed mirrors could hold your soul after looking into them.
Okay, I understand it now.
So if you break a mirror, you're breaking part of your soul.
Interesting.
It also kind of slides into a Native American belief about getting your picture taken. So
Yeah,
have you ever heard
I've
that?
heard of that.
They think you're trapping part of their soul.
Yeah.
If you take their picture. Yeah. Taking a pinch of salt and tossing it over your left shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen people do this?
I have. I used to watch Everybody Hates Chris, and his mom would do it.
Do you know why she did it?
For good luck.
Actually, it's because everybody thinks that there's a devil on your left shoulder and there's an angel on your right shoulder. And
So
if you throw the salt
on the devil.
on the devil's side.
Interesting.
Yeah. And some of people associate it with Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper painting. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Sitting at the table. There
Jesus.
is spilt salt on the table.
Oh, interesting.
So that kind of goes along with it. Knocking on wood. This is the one I do.
This is also one I do.
Okay.
Not even
I do
intentionally. I
this.
just kind of do it.
It's got a weird backstory. So it's from pagan culture, Celtic pagan, so specific, who believes in spirits and gods live in trees.
Yes.
So when you knock on the trunk of a tree,
You're calling upon that god
you're
spirit.
Yeah, you're trying to rouse a god or a spirit to give you good luck.
Huh.
There is also another religious one where, it kind of is linked up with the symbology of the cross. You're not on the wood. I don't know. Finding a 4-leaf clover. Can you guess where that's from?
Irish.
I'm going to say, yeah. Well, Celtic. It's Celtic.
Okay.
4-leaf clovers offer magic powers and shield you from evil and bad luck. That's the Celtic belief. Which I haven't found a 4-leaf clover in a while. So
I have found at least 6 in my lifetime.
I'm going to go through these real quick and not give any backstories on them. So we're running out of time. But never place 2 mirrors opposite of each other.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Never shake hands or kiss across a threshold.
See, now, real quick, my wife does not allow us, if we're holding hands, we can't go over something. We can't split. We have to hold hands until we've entered the place because she's superstitious that way.
Well, there you go. There's
Yeah.
no- Never allow the broom to touch the feet of anyone you know. Don't go home right after a wake.
I wonder where that one comes from.
Never stick your chopstick straight up.
Straight up?
That's obviously a Chinese one, but yeah.
Hmm.
Don't stick your chopsticks in any food and leave them sitting straight up.
That one's interesting.
Whistling indoors invites evil.
Wow. Okay. I do that 24/7.
Another one was don't cheer with water, or don't cheers with water, or toast with water. But I've also heard don't toast with an empty glass. Have you ever heard that one?
Actually, yes. I was watching another reference to media. I was watching The Fifth Element the other night, and in Egypt, in the very beginning of the movie, he's trying to toast to water, and the archaeologist goes, "You can't have a toast with water," and he throws it. It's bad luck.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Keep your shoes off the table. An itchy hand might be telling your financial future. I heard that one growing up.
Good or bad financial future?
I'm not really sure. It depends on which hand itches. So, like, if your left palm itches, I think you're going to lose money. If your right palm itches, you're going to gain money, or vice versa. I'm not positive on that.
Interesting.
Tuesday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, is bad luck. So this is where we're coming. In the very beginning,
Yeah,
I told
it was
you
Tuesday the 13th.
in 1881, it was Tuesday the 13th. So in Spain, Tuesday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, is considered unlucky. So don't sit at a table corner. I don't know who would want to do that. It's terribly uncomfortable. Don't have 7 children.
Wow. That's oddly specific as well.
This is Argentina. Okay, so apparently the superstition is that the 7th son, I guess not daughter, will become a werewolf.
They become a werewolf?
Yeah, that's what it said.
Wow.
Wear a lot of bells on your wedding day.
I don't think anyone does that anymore.
Don't sing. Well, there are wedding bells, though. Maybe the bride doesn't wear them.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Don't sing at the dinner table. Don't enter a room with your left foot. I'm going to be thinking about this one now.
You have to enter with your left foot if you're going to be part of the 13th.
That's right. You have to enter every room with your left foot now.
We have to break the superstitions.
Don't open umbrellas inside. Hide your thumbs when passing a graveyard.
What, like you're hitchhiking a spirit?
That's what I thought at first too. But it's actually a Japanese thing, and they consider it bad luck because the word in Japanese for thumb loosely translates to a word that sounds just like parent finger.
You lost me.
So if you hide your thumb, you're protecting your parents from death.
Oh.
So they consider the thumb the parent finger.
Wow.
And they take that
And hide it.
into a whole nother realm of I don't understand why, but they do.
Interesting.
Don't chew gum at night. In Turkey, it is said that it'll turn into the flesh of the dead.
Wow. That's crazy.
Don't sleep in a room with a running fan. I've heard this before. You'll suffocate.
You'll suffocate?
Yeah, I've heard people say that before.
That's insane.
Fans on them when they're trying to sleep makes them feel like they're not breathing for some reason. Don't sleep with your head facing north. This is another
Are you
Japanese
supposed
thing.
to keep a compass on you now?
I think I want to go to Japan because they are very interesting people.
They're very superstitious, apparently.
Sleeping with your head in this direction is bad luck because that's how deceased are laid to rest.
Interesting.
So I guess they bury everyone with their head to the north.
North,
It's
yeah.
bad luck. But in Africa, it's bad luck to sleep with your head to the west. So only
Oh, wow.
only north, or no, I'm sorry, not north. North and west is bad. East and south you can, not
Yeah.
north and west.
I guess it depends on where you are, too.
Stepping in dog poop with your left foot is considered lucky in France.
In France.
Bird poop brings you good luck. I've heard that one.
Hits you on the head.
Owls are bad luck.
Interesting.
You think that's why all that stuff happened to Harry Potter?
Well, he was very lucky in the end, wasn't he?
But he was first very unlucky
That's
for a
true.
long time. Don't get a haircut on a Tuesday. Be careful of full moons. I feel like that's... You hear
That
a lot of
one's-
people saying,
That one's
it's
been
full
perpetuated a
moon.
bit by
Yeah,
media.
Yeah, just a little bit. Don't wear red.
Ever?
Don't wear red during a storm.
Oh. You get struck by lightning.
Well, this is a Filipino thing.
Hmm.
So they think that red attracts lightning.
Oh, okay. That was right.
Bad things happen in threes. This is a big thing
That's a
in the
big one.
U.S. Yes. There's always celebrity deaths in threes.
In threes.
Never sit with 13 people at a table.
Hmm.
So
Full circle.
don't step on a manhole cover.
I mean, I do that all the time.
Don't jump over kids. This is
If you see a kid in the street, don't jump over him.
Turkish tradition. If you jump over a kid, you are cursing that kid to be small the rest of his life.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to jump over a kid now.
Keep your bananas off a cruise ship.
What?
They think it's bad luck to bring a banana on a cruise ship.
Can't bring no banana on no cruise ship.
Carry an acorn to gain immortality.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna be.
You can't. You have to go against superstitions in the 13 Club.
Don't let your purse touch the ground, Noah.
I don't own a purse.
Don't let your wife's purse touch the ground, Noah. Don't give clocks as gifts.
That one I have heard. Doesn't it have something to do with them, like, having a set time left?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Anyway, it's considered unlucky. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I got a bonus one for you. It's considered very bad luck to say the word Macbeth in a play theater.
That I have heard.
Have you heard this?
Several times. I can't remember. I think it was The Simpsons. Again, I'm stuck on media today. The Simpsons had an episode where they visited another town and the play Macbeth was on, and Sir Ian McKellen came out. He's playing Macbeth, and he was trying not to say the word Macbeth. And every time he did, he got struck by lightning or the sign fell on him, and it was very funny.
So that's not an exhaustive list, but that's just some ideas of some superstitions. I do the knocking on wood one. That's about it. I've walked under ladders. I have stepped in dog poo with my right foot. I've done things. So, today a lot of people associate Friday the 13th with bad luck, not only because the 13 Club put so much emphasis on Friday and 13 together, but there's been some real messed up things happen on Friday the 13th in history. Namely, the one that I already knew about because it's all over the History Channel all the time, is on Friday the 13th, 1307, the French rounded up thousands of Knights Templars and tortured them as heretics.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So a bunch of Knights Templars got murdered on that October 13th. That's your dad's birthday.
I'm aware.
And he was born on a Friday.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yes, my father was born on Friday the 13th. He must be very lucky.
I guess. He needs to be a member of our club.
That's right.
On Friday, November 13th, 1829, 10,000 people gathered to watch Sam Patch jump into the New York Genesee River from atop the Genesee Falls. He did not make it.
that was a bit delayed.
He was kind of famous in his time for jumping off of Niagara Falls and living.
That one, I have heard of that.
So he did not make it off the next one.
Yikes.
So. Friday the 13th, 1972, a plane crashed in the Andes. 12 people died instantly and survivors resorted to cannibalism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's heard about that
Heard
one.
of that, yeah.
That same day in Russia, 174 people were killed in a Russian airliner crash landing near Moscow.
Jeez.
On Friday, August 13th, 2010, a 13-year-old boy in England was struck by lightning.
Oh, man.
The lightning reportedly hit at 1:13 or 13:13 in
Oh, my
military
gosh.
time. And the boy survived unharmed. Isn't that great?
Good. See, he's lucky.
Yeah, that was lucky for him.
That
Yeah.
is.
On October 13, 2006, 500,000 people lost power in Buffalo, New York, and the surrounding suburbs were buried in 24 inches of snow.
Oh, my gosh.
October 13th, 1989, the stock market fell a whopping 6.91%. At the time, it was the second worst day in market history.
Dang.
At the time.
At that time. Not anymore. So we went a bit over today, but that's okay. It's a little extra long episode today.
Little bonus episode, yeah. Thank you very much for listening today. Please remember to do all the superstitions.
Break every superstition you can, and it will bring you luck.
Look out for the 13 Club being revamped.
We might be starting that up again, the 13 Club. You can catch our next episode next week wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find our show info and updates on Facebook, X, Reddit, Instagram. If you like what you heard, please like and subscribe.
You've been listening to the New Zonderlings podcast. Be sure to check out other episodes of this podcast when Noah and Jeanette will once again explore the weird and bizarre right here on the New Zonderlings podcast.